Okay, racing his way in for his first Daytona 500, and that is Cole Whitt. And he drove the number 26 Speed Stick Gear Toyota for Swan Racing. Heck of a race out there tonight, Cole. Obviously involved in a mishap yesterday. Had to get that race car turned around, and you had to race your way in. So talk about pressure. You delivered. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, I just proud of my guys more than anything, and just to, we weren't ready to give up, and we knew that, coming down here was already hard for us to even get down here, let alone the things that happened to our team yesterday, not just our car, but, Swan Energy losing 2 cars, and, my guys pulled together and made it happen, and I got my hats off to them, Speed Stick Gear for coming on board, giving us a shot with a sponsor down here, and everything so far has just been pretty amazing, and to be in the Daytona 500 is something that I've dreamed of my whole life, and it was kind of a hard way to do it, but being out and then back in with just a lap or so to go, is pretty gnarly. So just gotta thanks everybody. Good job, dude.
Thanks, man.
Okay, joining Cole is Alex Bowman, and both of these young men, by the way, are Sunoco Rookies of the Year candidate in the Sprint Cup Series, and I think that's just a testament to how strong this rookie class is this year. But Alex, just talk about your emotions. You've raced your way into the biggest race of the season as a rookie. Just tell us what that means to you.
I mean, it's huge. I got a call to come drive a Cup car, and I was really excited about that. But just to make the Daytona 500, I mean, it's huge. It's something I've watched as a kid every year, and it just means a lot to me and my family. And it was pretty crazy. We were running 7th there for a while, and I was like, please just don't shuffle up, and started shuffling, and we crossed the white flag like probably 18th or 19th. So we're fortunate enough to get the right runs there at the end and pass the exact right amount of cars. So just really thankful for everybody at BK Racing and Toyota and Dr. Pepper for giving me the chance to be here.
Questions now for both of these rookies, Cole Whitt, Alex Bowman. Don Coble, go ahead.
Yes, Don Coble with Morris News Service. Cole, you went from 17th to 12th on that last lap. Alex, you mentioned you went from 18th or 19th to 15th. Did you two work together? Because you both really made a real strong move down the backstretch and coming through 3 and 4.
Yeah, no, I think we were nose to tail for quite a bit there at the end, and I actually tried to shuffle Alex out. Just no offense, just it's how the nature of the beast is. We're coming down to the end, we're trying to get ourselves in, and I didn't want to be the last car in line, and I was there for a second, and so I kind of side drafted him and put him last in line, and then tried to make a move later and shuffled myself out. So maybe a little bit of karma to myself, but Alex is a good friend of mine, and we've come up through the sprint car ranks together, so I'm really proud of him to race his way in. But everything focused at the end was I was trying to get in. I don't know where Alex was behind me coming to the last lap, but I tried to just pick the best line I could. I knew guys pulling down to the bottom, it would take a while for them to probably build up that speed that they needed when they were pulling from that top groove and trying to suck up, and guys were losing people behind them. So I tried to stay in that top groove and tried to stay smart, and I gave the 14 a pretty big shove on the last lap to make sure our run was going to be as strong as possible to the line, and just try to stay, hammer down. And like you said, I knew we were out, and I didn't even know if we were in by the time we crossed the finish line, but it's a nail biter for sure.
Got a question over here from Randy, far left.
Yeah, Cole, Randy Kovitz, Kansas City Star. Just go back to yesterday when, there were one backup car for 2 wrecked cars, and, do you think they'd get that car rebuilt? How close a shave was that?
Yeah, these guys work their tails off, and that's a testament to the guys that we have hired here at Swan Racing. And, stepping up to 2 cars is tough for them. And we took on a lot with building new cars, moving shops, trying to find sponsors. There's so much that our team has done in the off season. And, we're going to go through our growing pains. And part of that is what we've had to deal with down here in Daytona. And, we did not make it any easier yesterday, losing a right front tire and getting in the wall, and Parker getting caught up in another mess. So, none of either driver at fault. Is just circumstances of racing down here at Daytona. And, for our guys to pull together and fix our car up, get them ready also, and to work together in the duel at certain times was pretty impressive and says a lot about our company and I think where we're headed. Thank you.
Other questions for, let's go up here front row here to Kenny Bruce, please.
Kenny Bruce from NASCAR.com. For both of you guys, other than being told, you're clear, you're not clear, whatever, in those final couple of laps, were you getting any input or any information as far as what you needed to be doing?
Yeah, I think, your spotter is huge at a place like this. He can tell you what lane has more cars and what lane's moving. So I know the biggest piece of information my spotter gave me those last couple laps was going down the back straightaway on the white flag lap. He said we need a bunch more than where we're at. So that was a kick in the butt to get going a little bit, I guess. But spotters are huge here. They can make or break your race. I mean, you have mirrors and everything, but really just knowing how the lines are flowing really helps you a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like Alex is saying, picking your line. A lot of it's driving out the windshield, but also trying to not let the guys, side draft you too much. I think when I was kind of mixed up there at the beginning, up in the top 8 or so, our car was really good right there, and I was really comfortable right there. Didn't want to make any moves and just wanted to ride in line, and we did that all the way up through the pit stop, and then we had to start working from there once we got kind of shuffled out with the pit strategy and stuff. But I'd say like you said, your spotter's a big part of it, and they got to be on their game. There was a part I think right at the end when Alex pulled underneath me, my spotter's like, get down, and I'm kind of like sitting here looking in front of me like, why? And I kind of looked in my mirror at the same time and seen Alex making a run, and I tried to come down, and I knew it's like I'm reacting too late to this one, so I kind of pulled back up and let Alex go a little bit, but at the same time, he had that run, and I was just too late to it. So your spotters, you got to be on your game, and is a huge testament to it, but also you control your own fate by the lines you choose, and it's pretty crazy. I mean, you literally are picking a top, bottom, or middle groove and just going with them, and obviously moving in and out of them makes the veteran drivers probably not want to work with you as much if you're all over the place. So I try to just stay as smooth as possible and gain respect with those guys.
A question right here, front row. Go ahead.
Tom Bowles, Athlon Front Stretch. Kind of a follow-up to what Kenny was talking about. You guys were shuffled towards the back of that line, and then you had 4 big guys with 4 fresh tires run by you, like big names, Tony Stewart. Were you getting pumped up on the radio during that time, and were they telling you where you were? Because, was it hard to keep composure having those guys blow by you, thinking, maybe your shot was over?
I feel like for us, we were running 7th there for a while, and didn't want to get out of line, didn't want to move, and when those guys started coming, we got shuffled towards the back. It was one of those things where I wanted to get in front of it, but the way the lines worked, I wasn't able to, and I figured that if I stuck to the 14's rear bumper, we'd be in pretty good shape. So I got down behind him and still kept getting shuffled back. So it's kind of tough. Even though those guys are as good as they are and had 4 fresh tires, the air is the air. The air doesn't care what tires you have. So it's once they get there, it's kind of just as hard for them to do anything as it is for us to do anything.
Yeah, and like Parker said, I'm sorry, Alex, once they got there, they had a big run when they came, and that gave them the shove where they, got them launched, up into about midway through that line, and then once people seen them coming and kind of got them shuffled up, it kind of stalled some of them out. The 14 finished right in front of me. It was actually the car that I pushed almost the whole last lap, and knew if I stayed to his bumper, we were going to keep moving forward, and he stayed in line, and the guys that were pulling down is the reason why we got to move up. So, I seen guys pulling down in front of him, and he was committed to staying to the top, it looked like. So I just tried to give him as big as push I could and hope he would go as far forward as possible.